That moment, the one where laughter just erupted because she was standing there, barely 5 feet tall, arms clutching packages of blood and adrenaline like she was about to sprint the 100 meters at the Olympics. No vehicle, no backup. Lean like someone who never got used to sitting still, track and field since she was a kid, cold eyes, but never cold in the way she treated people, always silent, never raised her voice. And if you'd been at Forward Base Swan Watch that winter, you'd know, we all just called her Logistics 9B, no one bothered with her real name. Because honestly, what difference did it make? She was just the support, auxiliary, no military rank, didn't even carry a weapon. Just shuttling supplies between lines while everyone else was sweating over the next attack. Thing is, she was weird, you know, always with that battered old stopwatch. Always running routes through the mud and snow, measuring, mapping. Like she was training for something nobody else could see. Suggested one time that maybe we should try delivering supplies by hand instead of vehicles. And the whole logistics room laughed so hard someone spit out their coffee. This isn't the Olympics, sweetheart. Let someone with a gun handle it. So she stayed quiet, kept running. And the story might have ended there if not for that one insane morning when the SEAL team sent in a request, critical blood and shock meds, needed in 3 minutes, vehicles useless. Artillery had shredded the North Trail, mind you, and nobody had any ideas. Panic set in. Really, the path was basically a shooting gallery, the window too small for planning. And everyone started arguing about who could go, what gear, which way, and Daria. Well, she just pointed at the map and said, deadpan, I can run it in 9 seconds. I've timed it. Everyone fell silent. I'm telling you, you could hear the medical officer's teeth grinding, sergeant's hand trembling. Kid's gonna get herself killed. What is this, a track meet? But the SEAL team on the radio was desperate. A man was down, bleeding out. So finally Colonel Peterson, who'd been listening to the whole mess, just looked at Daria and nodded. If she thinks she can do it, let her try. What else could he say? Daria didn't even look nervous, adjusted the bag, checked the straps, crouched low like a sprinter, and I watched her. Everyone did. You couldn't look away. Through her earpiece the SEALs counted down. 30 seconds until we lose him. Where's the medic? We need that bag. And she just breathed, slow and steady. Because she'd run this route 47 times before, in snow, in rain, with her eyes closed. She knew every pothole, every piece of debris, every spot you could get picked off by a sniper. It wasn't heroism, it was pure precision. She'd mapped every step. Then, 3, 2, 1. She was gone. Camera picked her up, streaking through the chaos, ducking behind wreckage, leaping over barbed wire, and you could almost see the calculations in her head. Step here to avoid the gravel, duck there to break line of sight, clear the concertina wire without losing momentum. Her breathing never faltered, medical bag never bounced, everything just locked in like she'd rehearsed it 1,000 times. And when she hit the halfway point, the enemy opened up, but even that didn't rattle her. She'd studied their patterns, slipped through a gap barely wide enough for her frame. 9 seconds. Exactly 9 seconds. She was at the SEAL position, swinging the medical bag down beside the wounded guy. Green signal flashed. Medic Rodriguez snatched the supplies. Didn't even process what had happened until someone shouted, "How the hell did she do that?" Nobody believed it. You know, the old-timers started digging through her records. No combat certification. No formal medical training. Just a note from the University of Minsk. Athletic record, grade A. But in a dusty classified folder was a story nobody knew. Daria had been part of a civilian program. Tactical medical support, a wild experiment, training athletes to run supplies where vehicles couldn't go. Most quit after a tragic accident. Daria was the only one who stayed. Not as a soldier, but as civilian support, and her file. God, you should have seen it. Obstacle courses blindfolded. 30 pounds of gear without losing speed. A note from her director. Refuses all combat roles. Only wants to deliver what's needed, when it matters. Back at the SEAL position, Rodriguez worked with speed he didn't know he had. The supplies packed in perfect order. Blood bags ready. Adrenaline pre-measured. Bandages rolled for one-handed deployment. You could tell this was someone who'd watched medics work and learned every move. Wounded Petty Officer Williams managed to whisper, "Did someone really just run through that hell to bring us gear?" Rodriguez checked his watch. "Yeah, 9 seconds. I've never seen anything like it. Radio crackled. Colonel Peterson, Daria, report. Mission complete. Returning to base. Negative. Hold until we can extract you. With respect, sir, I know a safe way back. Different route. Same timing. Before anyone could argue, she was already gone, looping around danger, back in 15 seconds, walking in calm as ever while everyone else just stared. Special Forces Commander Colonel Reese showed up with an old photo, grainy shot of a track meet in Poland, Daria in the lead, record time, 9.04 seconds, never published. Part of a secret training after the Bravo 9 incident. 5 medics lost because they couldn't get there fast enough. After that, Reese said, we try to solve the problem a different way. Get the right person across impossible ground. And Daria was the only one who finished every drill, then disappeared, not because she failed, but because she refused to be a warrior. I just want to deliver what's needed when it's needed. That's when the whole thing shifted. Reese stood up and said, we're rolling out the 9S protocol. 9-second response for any crisis where old methods fail. And Daria, he didn't want her to fight, just to teach, show others how to think, not punch through obstacles, but flow around them. And let me tell you, a week later, the whole base was learning from her, how to listen, how to read terrain, how to be exactly where you need to be, exactly when you're needed, with exactly what's required. Her secret? Listen, not just to orders, but to everything. The way someone breathes tells you how much time you have. The way they move tells you what they need. The ground tells you how to get there. The ones who used to mock her now asked her for tips. Medics borrowed her packing methods. Even the hard-case combat units wanted to know how she moved under fire. And suddenly, the idea of heroism changed. It wasn't about guns. It was about timing, about being present, about trust in those 9 seconds. Within months, other bases picked up the 9S protocol, then civilian agencies, disaster teams, fire departments, even parents in letters said they used her approach. Be there when it matters most. And 6 months later, a plaque went up at the depot. Not everyone has the right to shoot, but everyone can save. If they know how to run at the right time. Her broken stopwatch in a glass case. A reminder, sometimes 9 seconds is all you get, but if you spend it right, it's enough. And you know, people keep asking what the real legacy is. Was it the dramatic rescue, the training program, the letters from around the world? I think it's this. She proved you don't need rank or medals to make a difference. Just the guts to show up, to move when others freeze. To run straight through hell because someone else needs you more than you need to be safe. If you ask me, that's what real courage is, not the noise, but the silence in those 9 seconds. The heartbeat, the purpose. So let's argue. What matters more, the speed or the intent? The hero with a weapon or the hero with a stopwatch? Drop your take in the comments. Because I think stories like this, the ones where ordinary people do something extraordinary at exactly the right moment, those are the stories worth telling, and maybe, just maybe, the next 9 seconds in someone's life will depend on whether we're willing to be present when it matters most. What do you think? Was it luck, skill, or something else? Let's talk about it.